All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Makar Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. This is going to be a lesson on how these women are going to end up receiving judgments in the day of the Lord's wrath, right? And all the beauty that they have is going to be taken away from them, man. Even though Yahweh's already took a lot of it away from these women, he's going to take it away even further than he already has, all right? Because women have been able to escape some of the curse. Our women have been able to escape some of the curses that God has put on them through makeup, right? And women in general are able to deceive and manipulate men based on their appearance, man, based on a fake appearance. And as you can see, there's loads of images here, right? And some of the women still look good on the before, right? I searched up before and after makeup black women, right? Because I want women and men of our nation to see these women and realize what I'm trying to say, and using our women as an example, right? And some of the women that they're going to show here are not necessarily Israelites, right? But a lot of them are. So what you can see here, if you look at this one in the top right, you can clearly see that that's a hell of a transformation, man. Through the use of wigs, through the use of hair weaves, and through the use of makeup to like make a more clear skin shade or a more one tone skin shade, man. Right? The women are able to manipulate. And one thing that I've noticed since being alive, this amount of time that I've been alive, man, right, in this amount of years that I've been alive, is that women do not, the way how women think that their real appearance is their appearance with once they've got makeup on and all the jewelry and all the scents. That's what they think their real appearance is. They don't think that their real appearance is the appearance when they wake up in the morning, right? And that's why, man, a lot of these women had such a big problem with Kevin Shambles, because he used to put it on them. He used to say, what do you rate yourself out of 10? You can't use 7. Fresh phrase coming out of the shower, right? Meaning when all that makeup and witchcraft's worn off, what do you rank your appearance then? What do you rank your appearance then, man? And a lot of them used to say outlandish things. They used to say they're 8 and stuff like that. I'm at 9. And that's why even now, right now, a lot of these women will say that they're 10 out of 10. Or they'll even go more outlandish and they'll say they're 12 out of 10. I'm 25 out of 10. Because they think that they're going based on the appearance once they've put the witchcraft on their face. They're not basing their appearance based on what they actually look like. They're basing it off what they think they look like with the makeup on, which isn't really them. Right? Now, Yahweh's going to take away all the beauty and all the things that women can use to beautify themselves. So what I mean by that is that there's some women in these pictures that you can clearly see, man. And obviously brothers and men like different types of women, man. So some men are going to say, nah, I don't find none of these attractive. Some men might have not seen any woman on there that's attractive yet. But some of these women have been attractive or whatever, right? They're all right looking or whatever, right? But the image on the before, that's going to be the after in this time. They're going to look horrible, man, right? And people might say, oh, how are you saying this? Why are you saying this? And I'm going to show why I'm saying it, right? Because Yahweh said he's going to do this thing. This is Isaiah chapter 3. Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 16. Moreover, Yahweh saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks, and wanton eyes, mincing and tinkling as they go. Salaki, let me read that again. Moreover, Yahweh saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks, and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet, so they're just going around all over the place, right? In the ancient world, they would have had jewels on their feet. In the modern world, that would be the sound of their high heels, man, because women don't really wear ankle jewelry that much no more, right? But now it's the high heels clicking, that click, 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 click of their high heels, man. Them fancy ass shoes that they like so much. Verse 17, therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and Yahweh will discover their secret parts, and their secret parts are discovered, man. Some of their secret parts is that they really don't look good, man. Right? Look at this. That is some straight up witchcraft, man. That's not only made her skin more clear, right? It's changed her whole age, man. Right? It's changed her whole age. She looks younger on the other one, but that's witchcraft. But this woman on the left, would probably say she's an 8 out of 10, being delusional. But then on the right hand side, she'd say I'm a 20 out of 10. I'm lit. You know, she'd come with that madness, man. Makeup's witchcraft. And the image on the left, look at some of these ones, right? But the image on the left of this woman's image, that's her image when she's still in the society. She can eat whenever she wants to eat, more than likely, right? She can drink water whenever she wants to drink water. She can get enough sleep, more than likely, right? Depending on whatever country she's in and how much she works, she can get at least 8 hours of sleep, right? There's not no threat of violence around her every single day, right? Because the proof of that is that she's able to just go around and doing this makeup, and she doesn't mind looking like this, looking like that one putting her makeup. That's the proof that she's not in this society that's completely disgruntled, right? People ain't seen the day of the Lord yet. But soon, the images on the left, the women are going to wish that they could go back to looking like that. And they're not even going to look close to that. Yahweh's going to take away all their beauty, man. And he's already discovering their secret parts, because we're seeing that their hair ain't real, right? He's discovering their inward mentality. Where he's discovering that these women say that they want a good man, right? But then when they get a man that can pay all their bills, can buy them a house, can do everything that they want, then they go for the man that's got the complete opposite. And when they get that man that does that stuff for them and fulfills that part of their wickedness, then they end up then wanting to go back to the other guy again. And they just keep going back and forth from one thing to another. And that's why there's such heavy restrictions on women in the first place, because women given too much power in the world causes nothing but wickedness. And people can say whatever they want to say to me. They can call me whatever they want. I don't care what you people have got to say. I'd rather say the things that I know is right with God than try and play to these people's emotions, because they don't know nothing. Isaiah 3 and verse 16. Moreover, Yahweh saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, mincing and tinkling as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore Yahweh will smite with the scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and Yahweh will discover their secret parts. In that day the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, and their cords and their round tires like the moon, the chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs, and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings, the rings and nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles and the wimples, and the crisping pins. So all of the things that women are able to use and deceive to beautify themselves, that's all going to be taken away, man. Every single last bit of it. It's all going to be taken away. They're not going to be able to deceive. They're not going to be able to try and be like, I'm a 12 out of 10. People are going to see exactly what they are. All the beauty that they're able to use to try and hide who they really like. This woman here, if she's not righteous, right, and she don't repent, and even if she does, even if she is righteous and she is going to repent, she's not going to look like this, because this is a very beautiful woman, but she's not going to look like this in the day of the Lord's wrath, because all the things that she's put on her face and all the things she did to make her hair smell nice, to condition her hair to make it silky and soft and all of that, right, all the stuff that she's got on her nails, all the stuff she's got on her lips to make them be shiny, all the stuff she's got on her eyelashes, right, all the stuff that she's got to make her eyebrows be tweezed off like that, right? The silk scarf, the silk head wrap, all of that's gonna be taken away, man. That stuff's not gonna be there no more. She's not gonna look like that, even if she is righteous. Which I don't even want to use that word to describe a woman, even if she is part of the elect and has been given the mercy to receive salvation, she's still not gonna look like that, because Yahweh's getting ready to take away all of that from women, and he's getting ready to take away some of that stuff from men too. But this lesson's about the women, because everybody thinks that women are immune from judgment and women are immune from rebuke. But if you read the Bible, you understand that women are the ones that caused all of this madness. Everyone talks about Adam and puts things on Adam all the time, but who made Adam go off? If Eve wouldn't have sinned, then Adam wouldn't have. But Eve couldn't just handle sinning by herself. She couldn't bear the shame of doing it by herself, so she had to get Adam involved. She had to be like, well, I've did the wrong thing, so let me bring Adam in on it too. And she thought that she had some power over Adam and she had some secret knowledge over Adam, but really what she was doing was causing him to die, man, as well as herself. Let me carry on reading. Let me carry on reading, man. Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 22. The changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles, and the wimples, and the crisping pins, the glasses, and the fine linen, and the hoods, and the veils. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. Now, I guarantee, man, that this woman right here, I guarantee that she smells very nice, right? I guarantee that she smells nice. If you walk past her, right, she smells like special ointments and different things, right? If she flicks her hair, you'd be able to smell that, right? I guarantee. Look at her. It's a very beautiful woman. It's a pretty woman, whatever people want to say. It's a beautiful woman, man. These women too. I bet they smell nice too, right? But if they're wicked, well, they're gonna smell like death in that day. It's not going to, the day of the Lord, that's wrath that he's bringing forth. It's not going to be a time where people can just be walking around chilling, sitting on the side at a bar, waiting for whichever guy's going to ask him out on a date, or whichever guy's going to ask him for a dance, you know? Oh, what's your name? Oh, can I have your number? I don't really give my number out to strangers. You know, none of that dating dynamic stuff's gonna matter. The red pill community talk and all that, holding frame and all of this, you know, don't text her back straight away and all of that talk, right? You've got to make her see your lifestyle on the gram. All of that's just gonna be cast away, man. All the women doing them TikToks where they're doing all them dumb dances, waving around them 5-6 seconds, but for trying to pretend as though the TikTok's about some topic or something, or about whatever they're talking about. But really, it's so that you can look at the size of her breasts, so you can look at the size of her ass, so you can look at the smoothness of her legs, so you can admire her body. That's what it's really about. But they'll pretend that it's about something else. Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 23. The glasses and the fine linen and the hoods. Doesn't this woman have a hood on? Didn't that woman have a hood on or a veil? Didn't she have a hood on? Right? She's got a hood on or a veil. Well, not a veil. She's got a hood on her head, like a scarf. She's got the glasses and the fine linen and the hoods and the veils. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. And instead of a girdle, a rent. And instead of well-set hair, boldness. And the Israelite woman's already got a lot of boldness, man. She's already, her head top is already yam out, man. But people don't know this because they're able to hide it through the whole hair industry that makes billions off the women, because the women putting loads of these chemicals and all these different things in their hair that causes it causes for their hairline to recede. They're putting in them weaves in their hair, which causes for their hairline to recede, which is what happened to Tyra Banks. The same thing happened to Naomi Campbell, I believe her name is, right? But people don't understand. People don't understand this, man. And 1 second, give me 1 second, Salakia. Yeah, I'm back. Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 24. And it shall come to pass that instead of a sweet smell, there shall be stink. And instead of a girdle, a rent. And instead of well-set hair, boldness. And instead of a stomacher, a girdle of sackcloth. And burning instead of beauty. Now, some of these women are already burning right here on the left-hand side, right? Some of them are already hammed up, man. Like, let's be real. It's not, people don't have a problem with blazing up a man's image, right? If a man's fat, they don't have a problem that telling a man he's fat. If a man's skinny fat, they don't have a problem telling him he's skinny fat. If he ain't got a six pack, they don't have a problem telling him he ain't got a six pack. If he's bald, they don't have a problem telling him that his hairline's receding, right? If his beard doesn't look like Aaron's, they don't have a problem saying that to him, right? If he ain't tall, they don't have a problem telling him he's short. If a woman's not attractive, I ain't got a problem telling a woman that. But women are able to escape that for now with the makeup industry and with the hair industry and all these different ointments and shampoos that they can put on themselves, right? Women take a hell of a lot of time to get ready, man. But in what Yahweh's getting ready to bring on this earth, that's going to not be a thing anymore. So what are they going to look like? Their lips are going to be dry. Their heels are going to be dry. They're not going to be able to clean themselves as much as they want to. They're not going to be, women aren't even really physically capable to properly urinate outside, right? So that's going to cause them to be weeing on themselves. They might be trying to urinate somewhere, hiding, and then urinating on themselves because they have to quickly pull their trousers back up again. They're going to be catching hell, man. And they're going to be taking a major L. Let me carry on. Like, look on the ones on the left, man. Some of them, like, they don't look nothing like the image on the right. They don't look nothing like it, man, because they've been able to deceive with the makeup and hair industry. But that's getting ready to be taken away from them. Right now, it's going to be taken away from them right now it is being taken away from them anyway, because that's why they're doing things like Salakia. That's why they're doing things like running into the hair shops and stealing, man. Because already right now they're not able to do the same things that they used to be able to do. They ain't got the money. People only steal things when they ain't got the money, especially things as stupid as hair weave, right? Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 24. And it shall come to pass that instead of a sweet smell, there shall be stink. Instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. And instead of a girdle, a rent. And instead of well-set hair, boldness. And instead of a stomacher, a girdle of sackcloth. And burning, instead of beauty. So the women are not going to be beautiful no more. Their attractiveness is going to be taken away. Verse 25. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war. Because women always have a few men around them that are able to use and manipulate. Even a woman that's not necessarily attractive, she's able to have a few men around, that can do things for her, man. She might have that's what this whole red pill thing's about. It's about men trying to get back their masculinity and rebuking women for their wickedness, man. Right? And revealing to men what women are up to behind the scenes. That's what this whole thing's about. They're revealing to men what these women get up to behind the scenes, and they're exposing it, man. But in this time to come, women are not going to even have those men that they're normally able to manipulate. So I remember hearing one guy say that there's 5 different women. There's 5 different men that women keep around, and let me see if I can remember them. So there's the one guy that might be socially acceptable for her to be with, right? So she have that guy that she might not necessarily like, but he's socially acceptable to be with him. So he might be part of the same religion, or he might be part of the same nationality. She can be seen in public with him. She can go to the restaurant. He's socially like the nice guy or whatever, and she can be around him so he can take her on a date or whatever. Then there's the guy that she really wants to be with, which is the guy that she'll sleep with, right? That's the guy that she'll sleep with and do all of her lusts with, right? Then there's the guy that she'll use for attention, right? Then there's the guy that she'll use for money. And then there's the guy that she'll use to complain and run around and to tell all her problems to him. And that's not necessarily what I remember being spoken of, but that still stands. But the day is going to come where all of those men are not even going to exist, because they're not going to have been righteous, and they're going to all have been destroyed. Verse 25 again. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war, and her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground, because everything that she had has been taken away. So all of her beauty is going to be taken away. So she's not going to be able to manipulate. And then the men that might have known her, that would want to help her, they're going to be destroyed. Right? So then she's going to see that she ain't got nothing left, and she's just going to be sitting on the ground like, what the hell can I do? Right? Verse 4, Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1, in that day, right? In what day? In the day when her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. In that day, when these proud women are brought to nothing, in that day, right? And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. And you know what? Some men are going to tell these women to kick rocks, man. Right? Because there's a lot of men right now that they believe in the Bible, right? They believe in God, but they might not be an attractive guy, right? There might not be some hunk, right? But even the hunk gets used and abused by women in this world, right? Will Smith was like the Hollywood hero out here. He got cast away by his woman. His woman made him look like a damn fool. Keep my wife's name, you know. that abomination. Well, I ain't gonna call it an abomination, but that madness, man, that he did, smacking a man in the mouth because his wife's bold. But the reason why his wife's bold is because she's proud, and God said He was gonna make Israelite women that are proud be bold and lose their hair. And that's what he's doing. Verse 4 and verse 1, Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1 again. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So they're going to be seeking men in that day. But they're not going to be coming with the same attitude as what they had before, because they're going to realize that they can't handle things by themselves. And some men are going to tell, like I just said, some men are not going to be trying to hear that. Because Yahweh is going to give men the spirit to be able to decipher between a righteous woman and a woman that's wicked, to be able to decipher between a woman that speaks, that has a pure heart, and a woman that has a wicked heart. And they're going to see that these women are very evil, man, and they're not going to want to deal with them. And that's why the Bible says stuff like this. Let me find it. 1 second, let me find this. This is Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. So listen up, man. You women need to listen up, because this world's as this world gets more and more drastic, as inflation goes up, right? As wars start spreading throughout the earth, right? Russia's already destroyed up and murked off Ukraine, man. That was light work for them, right? That was like sparring to prepare for who they're really coming for, which is America and the rest of these other nations that are in agreement with America, man. Which is gonna cause for them to be like, you know what, I don't want it like this. I'm gonna turn against America too, because they're the main problem. So let's all fight against them. But as the world gets more and more like that, women are gonna lose more and more power. They're gonna lose more and more power, man. They're gonna lose more and more of their fake freedoms that they have. And that's gonna force them to have to be more and more humble. Because all that Instagram stuff, all that social media stuff, all that, I've got loads of followers just by twerking online. All of that stuff's going to be done away with, man. Verse 9 again. Rise up, you women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the present fields, for the fruitful vine. And what's going to cause them to lament for the teats, for the present fields, for the fruitful vine? Well, I've read about it already. All of their beauty being taken away, plus all the men that they used to use to protect them and that they used to use to manipulate are going to be taken away too. Verse 3, Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 26 again. In fact, I'll go to verse 25. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and I am mighty in the war, and her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground in sackcloth, man. They're going to be dressed in some raggedy ass clothes. They ain't going to be dressed in like, women don't really have those clothes for comfort to be maneuvering around, man. A lot of their clothes are for showing off their appearance. It's not for functionality. But they ain't gonna even have clothes for functionality. They might steal an ex-boyfriend's. They might put on an ex-boyfriend's t-shirt and some jogging bottoms. They might put on his old white t-shirt or something like that, and some jogging bottoms. And the jogging bottoms are gonna get dirty as hell, right? Start getting tears in them when she has to like climb over a fence or something like that, right? The t-shirt's gonna go dark, gonna go brown as hell, like some tea, like it's gonna be coffee stained or whatever, or dirt stained, and she's not gonna have it, man. And she's gonna be sitting on the ground, and she's gonna be seeking for a man in that day. And some that have really become humbled and are really, really repentant are going to receive it. But a lot of them are not going to, man. There's a lot of them that are not going to, and some men are going to actually know exactly who these women are, because they're going to have seen them on social media, and they're going to be like, right, is that Lori Harvey? You know, they're going to be like, who's this? Is that Sierra? Nah, I ain't trying to deal with that. Is that ZZ Mills? You know, all these proud women that get on Instagram bunning out men. Is that Oprah? Is that Wendy Williams? All these women that people see on social media, all these, like, there's these UK ones, there's this whole UK thing where they've got all these women, all these proud women that they're bunning out men, talking about they want men to be doing this and doing that for them, but she's not gonna cook for him food. So they're useless. But in the time of the Lord's wrath, what are them women gonna be worth? Nothing. They're not gonna be worth nothing, man. When everyone's when all, you know what? when all of this stuff's taking place, what are these women going to be worth, man? 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 16. What are women going to be worth in this time, right? For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So what are women going to be worth when a man can just break the law and get away with it? What's a woman going to be worth in that time? What's a woman in a dress going to be worth? A woman trying to show off her appearance going to be worth? For one thing and one thing only. And the man's not going to have to be no simp to get that. He's going to be able to break the law to get that if he so chooses. And it might sound horrible, but it's going to be a horrible time. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, and that's what's happening already right now. But it's going to happen even worse. You literally, if you was to go into that other city, you'll die. It might be cordoned off. The motorways or the highways might be literally have blockades on them to where you can't get through, and they might have some stop points, checkpoints where they've got people armed on there, to where if you even come close to the perimeter, they're gonna start letting off shots at you, man. Verse 18, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So if men are going to be afraid, then you already know women are going to be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So when there's a lack of bread, everyone starts looking jacked up, man. Make yourself, when the Day of Atonement gets kept, right? People don't look as clear and as fair in the face as when their belly's full. Your tongue starts, your moisture in your mouth starts going. You become irritable. You're afflicting your soul during that time. But a lot of these people are going to be going to an involuntary affliction of their soul because they're not going to have the food available to eat. And it's because of people's pride, because the scriptures say, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. So Yahweh's going to make the people that believe in him be able to eat. And that's what's going to cause for a lot of these women to be seeking out these men. And a lot of them are going to be seeking out these men because they want food. But some women that are the sincere ones are going to be seeking out Yahweh, really, through those men. Yahweh Bar Shem, Yahweh Shai, through those men. And I'm gonna end the lesson there, man. This is a lesson for you women to not be proud, man, because Yahweh is gonna take away, and already is taking away, your beauty, but he's gonna take it away even further, right? And the image that you see on the left, the image that you have when you don't wake up, the image that you have when you wake up without makeup on, that's the image that you're gonna wish that you still had in that time, because Yahweh is gonna remove your beauty away from you and cause you to become humbled, man, and take away the things that you delighted yourself in and that you gloried yourself in. And on that, I'm going to end the lesson. All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Makar Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the nation of Israel. Shalom.